types of media in the colonial time period. Media could vary from newspapers, songs, paintings, and political cartoons. Public Occurrences was the first 2-plus page newspaper published in colonial America. The first edition was brought out in 1690 by Richard Pierce. Benjamin Harris was the lead editor. There was no second edition of Public Occurrences because it was shut down by the government and council in 1690. The Boston Newsletter was founded in 1704. The Boston Newsletter was considered the first continuously published newspaper in the British North America. It was heavily subsidized by the British government and had a limited circulation. James Franklin, whom was Benjamin Franklin's older brother, founded the New England Courant in 1721. This newspaper was involved in many controversies and was retired in 1727. Benjamin Franklin started in this newspaper as a typesetter, but later he wrote over a dozen articles under the fake name of Silence Dogood. The Pennsylvania Gazette was one of the most prominent newspapers. It was founded in 1728 and was in operation until 1815. Benjamin Franklin and Hugh Meredith owned this paper. Many want ads were inserted into all of the newspapers. There was a plethora of want ads. But the most popular ads had to do with runaway slaves. This shows us that slaves were not happy with being slaves and they were attempting to run. All these newspapers had different articles ranging from politics to slavery to religion and many other things. Another type of media in the colonial times was political cartoons. Political cartoons would be published into newspapers or would be posted in other areas. This first cartoon, as you can see, is titled Federal Superstructure. It shows us a hand helping to raise the Massachusetts pillar to an upright position. The pillars standing have already ratified the new document. They are Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Georgia, and Connecticut. This political cartoon was published in 1788 in the Massachusetts Centennial. This political cartoon is called Join or Die. It pictures a snake divided into 8 pieces. These 8 pieces represent the colonial governments. This drawing was based on the superstition that if a snake had been cut in two, it would come to life if the pieces were joined together before sunset. This drawing immediately caught the public's eye and was reproduced in many other newspapers. Common Sense was a pamphlet written by Thomas Paine. It was first published anonymously on January 10, 1776, which was at the end of the colonial time period. It had hit the top. It had the largest sale and circulation of any American book. Common Sense brought the American colonists with an argument for freedom from the British rule at the time when independence was still undecided. Paine wrote in a very common language that people understood. It was structured like a sermon, and Paine relied on biblical references to make his case to the people. He brought together independence with Protestant beliefs as a means to present a distinctly American political identity. The media in this time greatly influenced the people. Whether it be the pictures they saw or the articles they read, I believe that the media in the colonial times was greatly beneficial to the people. It helped them describe what their independence was, and it helped them gain it. I also believe that we should be appreciative of the authors from the colonial times. They shaped and formed what our newspapers are today. We owe a lot to them.